What's up, everybody? Matt Moda here with DGF Fantasy, here to give you a 3-pick banger on Underdog Fantasy. To find these plays, I used the DGF DFS Optimizer, incredibly helpful tool. I 100% recommend checking it out if you have not already. It has plays for all of these different DFS apps, Prizepicks, Underdog, all the way down to Thrive and everything in between. And it just makes finding plays on these DFS apps so incredibly easy. So, like I said, I can't recommend enough checking it out, finding plays. As for this video, as I mentioned, I got a 3-pick play on Underdog Fantasy. If you are new to this YouTube channel, definitely recommend subscribing so you can get notified whenever new DFS videos like this drop. And let's chat. So the strategy, real quick, before we get into the individual plays, the strategy of when you're using these DFS platforms like a Prizepicks, like an Underdog, is to find plays, literally, it's as simple as this, that are likely to hit, which I know that probably sounds too obvious, but if you think about it, that's actually not the strategy when it comes to actual sports betting, like a FanDuel, a DraftKings. When you're using these sports books, you're looking for value. Okay, where can I find value on FanDuel compared to every other book? Well, with Underdog, the payout is the exact same regardless of what individual plays you add. Same thing with Prizepicks and all these other DFS platforms. So if the sports books like the FanDuels and the DraftKings of the world are heavily pricing something one way, and what I mean by that, when I say heavily pricing, I just mean like having it priced more likely to occur than not. They're heavily juicing the odds as a likely outcome. Well, that means that obviously those sportsbooks think that play is likely to hit, so they're charging more money for it, right? They're not going to get taken advantage of. Well, Prizepicks, Underdog, they don't do that. They don't charge any extra juice depending on the individual plays. So this very first play, it's going to sound scary. Shohei Ohtani under his projected fantasy score of 10.5. So that's our first leg that we're going to go ahead and lock in here. So the implied odds of a 3-pick entry on Underdog, you see right here, is minus 122. So when you have a 3-leg play hit non-insured on Underdog, the implied odds per individual leg is minus 122. Well, DraftKings prices this at minus 147, giving this a percent odds to hit just below 60%. Basically saying, hey, you simulate this game a zillion times. Shohei Ohtani is going to go under 10.5 fantasy points, roughly 59.54% of the time. We're getting the implied odds of minus 122 on Underdog, which equates to a winning percentage of like 54%, something like that. So the fact that we're getting such a good price on Underdog makes this a valuable play. And this is our first leg. And this is exactly the type of stuff that you're looking for when you are using the DFS platforms. Look for plays that the sportsbooks are telling you are likely to hit, put those into an entry, and you will be profitable over the course of time. Yeah, you're not going to win every single entry, obviously, because you're still, at the end of the day, playing a 3-leg parlay, but your win percentage will be high enough for you to be profitable. So this is our first leg, Shohei Ohtani under 10.5 of his fantasy score. Next up, another player that is scary to fade, but we're going to go ahead and do so, is Ronald Acuna Jr. under 11.5. Again, this is his fantasy score. DraftKings prices this at minus 128. DGF calculates the win percentage of this one to be 56.25%. Obviously, we're still getting it way above the minus 122 number, making this a profitable play on Underdog as our third leg. And last up, another fantasy score play. This time we're taking Wade Miley, and finally we're taking an over to go over his projected fantasy score of 24.5. We can kind of see other sports books have odds for this one as well. DraftKings at minus 127, Caesars at minus 124. All in all, DGF calculates this to be at about minus 126 with a win percentage of 55.75%. So 3 plays here. I skipped, like you can't have 2 entries with Ronald Acuna, so that's why I skipped the second one. But 3 plays, we're all playing a projected fantasy score. Ohtani, Acuna, Wade Miley. Ohtani, we're taking him to go under 10.5 projected fantasy score. Acuna, we're taking him to go under 11.5. And Wade Miley, we're taking him to go over 24.5. All 3 of these plays found using the DGF DFS optimizer. All 3 are mathematically profitable on Underdog. and I have a lot of faith in this one. So if you're riding with me, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.